On this video we travel from London to Munich on the Eurostar via Amsterdam. We immerse ourselves in the local culture and we see the sights of Salzburg. It's a Friday morning in St Pancras and we're back here again, waiting for the Eurostar to Amsterdam. And today I am the man in seat 61. We set off at 11:04 across London and down into Kent. We're soon in the darkness of the Channel Tunnel, and by midday we emerge into France. First stop is Lille, which we know very well, but today we're pressing on to the Netherlands. Next up, we cross the border into Belgium and the capital, Brussels. But we're soon on the move again, heading into the Netherlands. Pretty soon, we're approaching Rotterdam. Off again, across acres of farmland, and into the land of the windmills. It's just 4 hours since we left London, and we pull into our first stopover, Amsterdam. This time we're in Amsterdam without a boat, so we decide to jump on one of the many tourist boats for a cruise around the city. We've done this many times before, but it's a nice day, and we've time to spare. We pass a tall ship called Amsterdam. That was the name of the boat we had last time we were here. What are the chances of that? A lovely trip around the canals. The canals are the best way to get around Amsterdam, but it's still best to avoid rush hour. Now it's time to head back to Central Station for the next and longest leg of our journey, a train to Munich. We're off east with a quick stop at Utrecht before crossing into Germany, and a short hop to change trains at Düsseldorf. We're running a bit late, so we're a bit nervous, but we arrive with just 10 minutes spare before our German ICE train pulls into the platform, and we board okay for a 5-hour run down to the Bavarian capital, Munich. We stop at Frankfurt Airport, and then Frankfurt Bahnhof, where we change direction, much to Chris's dismay, as I get to face forward now for the rest of the journey. We wend our way through the beautiful German countryside. By early evening, we pull into Munich Bahnhof, just in time for the sunset and to hit the ground running with a German beer garden for dinner. Next morning, we make our way to Marienplatz for the 11 o'clock chimes of the Glockenspiel, part of the Gothic Rathaus, or Town Hall. This world-famous spectacle reenacts several classic events from Bavarian history. Next, we stop at Fiktulienmarkt, the fruit and veg market, for some purple cauliflowers, coffee and tea. Chris looks up the route to get us to the English Garden. Englischer Garten is a large urban park with rivers and the Iceback wave, an artificial river wave that attracts some formidable surfers every day. Chris errs towards something a little more sedate. We make our way to the Chinese Tower, which of course has its own beer garden. And it would be rude not to sample some of the fine offerings, such as pretzel pizza. It's a German thing. And a very refreshing radler. Not too strong to stop us from doing a bit more sightseeing this afternoon, like the beautiful gardens of the residence. Historically, a royal palace and seat of government, today it's more of a cultural attraction. Sticking with the Octoberfest theme, we have to pop into the most famous beer hall in Munich, the Hofbräuhaus. There should be enough room for us, as it can seat 2,500 guests, and we're lucky enough to find a table out in the garden. This trip is going to really work my arm muscles. And there's plenty of live music too. Next day, and we have a few more sites to tick off the list. In the evening, we stop off at the Kraftwerk Cafe for a bite to eat. Not much sign of Kraftwerk though. And then on to a friendly gay bar for a nightcap. But once inside, the heavens open up. I think we're going to need a taxi home. Next day, and we're off on the final leg of our trip aboard an Austrian RailJet train to Salzburg. This leg is only an hour and a half away through the stunning mountain scenery of the Alps and into the Sound of Music country. There are so many Bavarian chocolate box towns to see along the way. It's not long before we see the high Salzburg fortress on the mountain above the town as we pull into Salzburg station. There's no time to waste, so it's straight into looking around the town. Photo opportunity. We start off with the Mirabelle Gardens, well known from the Sound of Music during the Do-Re-Mi scene. There's plenty to see, including the 18th century Dwarf Garden. These statues were removed in the early 19th century as tastes changed, and have more recently been rediscovered and reinstated in their original home. The fortress dominates the town from almost every angle. Salzburg is also the birthplace of the composer Mozart, and you can visit his birth home and museum, or just the supermarket underneath, to buy Mozart chocolate balls. We take the funicular up to the fortress, way above the city. And it's well worth the trip, just for the views and the exhibits in the museum. Next day, and we search out a few more gems, taking a lift up into the mountains to even more fortifications. And some pleasant walking trails. We see the Von Trapp house down by the lakeside. Later, we have a nice meal and find some Austrian cider back down in town. And we take in some final views before it's time to head back to Munich and home. If you've enjoyed this trip, don't forget to subscribe and catch up with us again on our next adventures.